Hey guys, I have a new video review for you here. Today I'm actually talking about a custom folding knife. Full-blown custom handmade folder. Very reasonable price as well. This one is from STR, over from Blade Forums. Some of you guys know STR, just his initials. His name is Stephen Taylor Rice. Does phenomenal work, and I'm actually very honored to be able to review this specific knife. He doesn't make a whole lot of custom knives, just does a couple a year, so they are rare, harder to find. He does take requests, of course, if you're interested, but it is an honor to do his work here and review it. This specific knife, the model is a medium RIL folder. RIL stands for Reeve Integral Locking. What you're looking at right now is the pouch that it comes in. This is a very cool pouch. It is completely handmade as well. These are made by his wife, if I'm not mistaken. Just gives the knife a little bit of character. As he mentioned in his blog, he can just get regular knife holders for them, but just makes it unique, makes a nice special little touch there. So let me put that aside here and show you the actual knife. Here it is right here. Again, a medium RIL folder. This one's slightly different than what he normally does. I'll explain some of the differences as the review goes on. But this one specifically has a Wharncliffe style blade, which is one of the first things that's a little different. A lot of times you'll see him use kind of a standard clip point or drop point type blade. This one is unique. It does have the Wharncliffe. A lot of fans out there. I get a lot of questions too about different blade styles. Wharncliffe gives you a completely straight cutting edge here. It is a completely straight line. Okay. The difference between a Wharncliffe blade and a sheep's foot blade is that a Wharncliffe has a much more gradual slope down. A sheep's foot blade would come out to about here and then drop down. That's the only difference between the two styles. But this Wharncliffe blade is extremely easy to sharpen, especially on a bench stone. Just touching it up or hand sharpening it. Extremely easy because of the fact that it literally has a completely flat edge. There's no curves to worry about, nothing weird or anything. It's just you keep a steady angle on your stone and you're set. So a lot of people prefer it for that reason alone. But you do get a nice acute tip here. So you can work and do some fine cutting with that tip. But anyway, let me give you some specs on this knife first. Start off. The full length open on this knife is 7 7/16 inches long. The blade is 3 1/8 inches long, and the knife closed is 4 5/16 inches long. This blade steel is actually D2, which again is a little bit different. You see Steve use a lot of 1095, 440C, and ATS 34 on a lot of his other knives that he's made. For any of you who are not familiar with ATS 34, if you're new to the knife world, you don't see it as much. 154 cm kind of took its place. ATS 34 basically has the same, it's extremely close to 154 cm in its characteristics and its performance. The only difference is that I believe ATS 34 is made in Japan as opposed to 154 cm, which is made here in the US. This one, another difference is that this one has a hand-rubbed finish on this blade, which is beautiful. Let me just wipe those fingerprints off. You know, guys, sometimes I get nuts with the fingerprints. A lot of Steve's other work he'll use bead blasted blades, so there's a nice contrast. You see there's a beautiful overlay here. Looks very nice, and it is functional. You see here when you grip the knife, my 3 fingers rest right on that overlay, which gives me good grip on the knife. This is actually, I'm not sure how good the camera's going to pick it up, but it's kind of a teal color. It's a bluish green. Very nicely textured. Very fine textured, very comfortable, but does serve a purpose. Let me bring you nice and close here to give you a better look at that. Beautiful fine texturing. While I have my jeweler's loop here, let me show you also his maker's mark, which is right there, STR, right by the pivot. This is a frame locking knife, as you can see here. The handle is titanium, which you see a lot, used in the custom knife industry. Titanium is extremely popular for its strength and lightweight. Speaking of weight, this whole knife is 3.3 ounces, which is actually feels pretty light in the hand for its just under 8 inches long. Like I said, it's a medium medium RIL, so it's about a medium-sized knife, but it does feel very lightweight in the hand. A lot of maneuverability with this, if that's even a word, maneuverability. The lockup on this is extremely strong. Perfect lockup. You can see there at the bottom of the tang there. No movement whatsoever. There's no way I can't get even a little bit of a wiggle out on this knife. It is also very smooth opening and closing. Steve usually uses a bronze phosphorus washers, I believe, but this specific one has Teflon washers in there, and it is very smooth opening and closing, and just locks up like a bank vault. Just beautiful. Thumb stud here. Let me bring it in close again. There's some good knurling on there for grip. You see there. Fantastic knife. Another feature on this is actually what Steve's most known for, is his modifications and his custom work. And this pocket clip is his famous low-riding pocket clip, or simply low-rider. Let me get my little display pocket here, pants pocket, to show you this clipped in the pocket, show you how this rides. And it's called the low rider because it rides extremely low. The knife basically becomes invisible once it's in your pocket. What's really cool is that, now I don't have a price off the top of my head, I don't remember, but you can contact Steve and you can get one of these pocket clips made for your favorite knife. Let's say you don't have the money to buy a full-blown custom, however you really like that pocket clip. Hint, hint, me. I really love this pocket clip. In fact, I'm going to be purchasing one soon from Steve for one of my other folders. But yeah, he can, you obviously just contact him, give him the specifications you need as far as how far the screws are and stuff like that. And, tell him the make and model of the knife you want it for, and he can make you this custom clip. It's just awesome. Big hit over at Blade Forums. I mean, if you have a production knife or a custom knife that you really love but you can't stand the way it carries, get a clip from Steve. They're awesome. The clip is also titanium. It has a very good pressure on it. It's nice and tight. It's not going to fall out of the pocket, but it has enough give. It's not like really stiff, so it's easy to get in and out of the pocket, but it still is extremely secure. Just love this knife. It really is a whole different realm. When you get into custom knives, it's a whole different ball game. I know a lot of you guys watching this video, haven't experienced a custom folder, but it really is something else. It's just a work of art. Perfect attention to detail here. It's a somewhat simple knife, but it's perfectly done. It was executed, phenomenally. I can't say enough about it. Really, fantastic. This specific knife, the good news is, let me get rid of those fingerprints again. If you are interested in this very specific knife right here, literally this one in my hand, it's actually still for sale. Steve was very generous enough to have sent this to me for review, but I cannot purchase it at the moment due to finances. So that means this is open to the market. So if you're interested in this very knife right now, I would contact Steve as soon as possible and let him know you're interested. The price on this is $325. Now, $325 for a custom folder is cheap. I know some of you guys who aren't used to the customs are thinking, what are you talking about? $300? That's not cheap. Believe me, a knife of this caliber starts at about $400 or $500 if you're talking about some other makers. And phenomenal price on this knife. Really is a steal. It's a really good bargain for a custom, completely handmade. I mean, this was nothing. This is a bunch of material that Steve has put together in such a way to make a beautiful piece of artwork, really, and an extremely functional tool. Like I said, I mean, you can keep this in your pocket every day for many years to come and have it serve you well, or you could put it in a display cabinet and get just as much appreciation out of it. It really is a piece of art, but you can use it. I mean, some guys collect them to store them away, and some guys collect them so they can use them. Either way, you'd be very happy with this knife. If you like this specific, or if you like this type of knife, but maybe you don't like the Wharncliffe blade, just contact Steve. He can work out what kind of style of knife you might like from him. Again, he doesn't make a whole lot of knives, which in my opinion makes every single one he does make a little bit more special. He doesn't pump them out like some of the other custom knife makers. Like I said, he only does a couple a year. So you have to be patient as far as orders. If you decide to place an order with him, or you want to work out something, collaboration with a knife, you can, but it may take some time. Like I said, just contact him. I actually have his card here. Here's his contact information. Hopefully you can see this. Email is strsbackYardKniFeWorks@gmail.com. And again, I just spelled it out so it's easier for you guys, but that's STR's Backyard Knife Works @gmail.com. And of course, check out his blog. Shows a lot of his recent work here. That's STR's Backyard Knife Works.blogspot.com. So thank you for watching, Steve. I really appreciate you giving me the time to review this knife and really handle it. It is a beautiful work of art and a phenomenal knife. And for the asking price, it's a steal, if you ask me. So guys, if you are interested in this knife, it is for sale. I'm shipping this back to Steve right after this review. And again, the price on this was $325. What's cool is it comes with this nice pouch. This is also custom made by Steve's wife, if I'm not mistaken. And what makes this knife kind of unique is not just the knife, but the pouches that he offers, because they are handmade from his wife. It's a really nice touch. And I was talking to Steve, and he was saying how he can buy different pouches for his knives, and it's kind of like every other knife you get. This just adds a nice touch to it. Kind of classy. I like it quite a bit. So that's the pouch that actually comes with the knife. So guys, thank you so much for your time. I always appreciate it. Steve, again, thank you very much for providing me with this knife for review. It's phenomenal. Again, guys, just contact Steve whenever you get a chance, either for this knife or for other work. Again, those custom clips. Another thing I want to mention real quick, I'll also put a link in the sidebar to a buddy of mine here on YouTube who just made a video on one of Steve's frame lock conversions. I don't know if I mentioned this already or not in the video because it's kind of long now. But he also does frame lock conversions. If you have a liner lock that you like a lot, but you wish it was stronger, he'll make a frame lock out of it. Very cool. I've seen it personally done on Kershaw blurs. Came out awesome. I had a friend of mine who had work done with him, as well as Emerson's. So it's phenomenal. He does a great job with everything he does, and he keeps very good communication with his customers. So I think you guys will be happy. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Again, I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.